In this lesson, we are not focusing on the present and we are not focusing on the past. We are going to have a look at how we express the future. We have already learned about the near future, le futur proche, which normally expresses an action that's going to happen in the near future. The way we form it is to take the verb to go in the present tense and to use an infinitive verb. I'm going to dance, je vais danser. If you want to find out more about le futur proche, there's a lesson I've done in the intermediate course that you might find useful, so feel free to have a look at it. Now let's come back to the future. The simple future is the future that expresses the idea of will. I will dance, we will go. The difference with the near future is that we consider that it's further down in time in the future. Although, to be frank, you can use either to express the future. But today, the tense that we are going to focus on is the simple future. So let's have a look at how it works. The simple future, compared to the tenses, is quite easy to use, and that's probably why it's called the simple future. Today we're going to focus on regular verbs, and this is how it works. First, we need to find the stem. The stem is the part of the verb to which we're going to add the endings, and this is how it works for the future. You only have to take the infinitive verb. So the verb in its raw form, the verb that's not conjugated, the verb that you will find in a dictionary. I'll give you some examples. You've got danser, to dance, finir, to finish, vendre, to sell. You take the infinitive as it is, except for the ire verb, where we're going to need to get rid of the e because it would make sense to have it with the ending. It would be not easy for pronunciation to have it there, so we get rid of it. And we add these endings. E, a, on, et, on. So for the verb danser, je danserai, tu danseras, il, elle, on dansera, nous danserons, vous danserez, ils, elles danseront. And that means I will dance, you will dance, he, she, one will dance, we will dance, you will dance, they will dance. For finir, je finirai, tu finiras, il finira, elle finira, on finira, nous finirons, vous finirez, ils finiront, elles finiront. And for vendre, we are going to have je vendrai. Now you see why we get rid of the e. Tu vendras, il vendra, elle vendra, on vendra, nous vendrons, vous vendrez, ils vendront, elles vendront. I have a little tip to help you remember the endings of the simple future. Have a look at the endings. Now have a look at the verb avoir in the present tense. If you notice, the verb avoir in the present tense and the endings of the future are almost the same, except for nous and vous, but the ONS is usually the sign of the nous form, and the EZ is normally a sign of the vous form in quite a lot of tenses. So if you know your verb avoir, in actual fact, you know the endings of the simple future. Let's do a little bit of practice. We've got Madame Irma, who's making some predictions. She's a famous fortune teller. You need to put the infinitive verbs in the French sentence into the simple future. You have the translation in blue to help you, and also the endings of the simple future But remember, your verb avoir, they're almost the same. You may want to pause the video now and write down your answers, or you might want to do the activity with me as we go along. So number 1, numéro 1. You will travel to France. Vous voyagerez en France. I have the infinitive, I add the ending. Numéro 2. Your brother will build a house. Votre frère bâtira une maison. Your parents will learn some news. Vos parents apprendront une nouvelle. Remember that with RE verbs we need to get rid of the E. A friend will live a romance. Un ami vivra une histoire d'amour. You will move house. Vous déménagerez. Vous déménagerez. I will phone you next week. Je vous téléphonerai la semaine prochaine. Félicitations, you've completed lesson 5. I'll leave you with a little task. And for now, all I have to say is au revoir et à bientôt for lesson number 6.